and welcome back to another episode of Strawberry Sundays. This week's episode is a little bit different. I'm not recording this on a Sunday, I'm recording this on a Thursday night. Look at that, it's dark outside for once. And this episode is probably uploaded at like a normal time, like before 1 AM. So yeah, welcome back to another episode of Strawberry Sundays. You can see by the title, wait no, crap, they moved it to the bottom, everyone forgets that. You can see by the title down there, that this episode's a little bit different. I've decided to change up the series a bit, and it's not going to have a structure to it like every other week. I'm actually going to change up a bit every other week, so some weeks we might open up packages, some weeks we might open up, or whatever, fan mail, some weeks we might do a Q&A, some weeks we might tell a story, like what I'm doing today, and sometimes we might do some serious talk, where we talk about serious stuff, like politics. No, I'm kidding, no. But anyway, today what I want to talk about is dropping out of high school, which is never like a really good topic to some people, but I don't know, I think it's an interesting one because I always get comments about it. Like I got a question last week, and this is why I sort of wanted to make this, because I was gonna answer the question, but then I was like, that's gonna take me a solid 15 minutes to answer. So I don't know, today's is just gonna be a bit of a story. I'm gonna tell you guys a beautiful story, and I hope you all enjoy and listen, because I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty interesting. Actually, it's not really. I think it's kind of interesting, but, you know, if you guys are thinking about dropping out of high school just simply because you think it's not, like, you know, a good way for you to learn, like what it was for me, you know, you could use this video for your parents to watch, although they probably wouldn't trust me. I'm a freaking, like, short-haired guy in front of 10 computer screens talking into a fancy microphone with a gaming headset with a freaking like salad in front of him, which he really wants to eat, but he wants to record this video first while this stuff's still in his mind, and I just got freaking salad dressing on my fingers. So let's begin. Where do I start with this? So yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm 17. I always get questions about how old I am. I'm 17. It says on my Twitter bio if you ever want to look how old I am. I'll update it whenever I turn 19 or 18, whatever comes next. I know I didn't go to high school. No, I'm not that retarded. But yeah, I'm 17. I dropped out of school June last year when I was 16. And I'll talk to you guys about how the Australian school system works. So, in Australia we go through, well, in Victoria at least, it's probably different in different states, but for me at least, it goes from prep to grade 6. Prep is sort of like grade 0, or they call it like reception in the UK or something. And then you go from grade 0 to grade 6, and then you go to high school. That's primary school, and then you go to high school, which is grade 7 and grade 12. And then there's some fancy stuff that happens in grade 11 and grade 12. It's like called like VCSE or VCAT. I can't remember it. Or VC. It's one of those. It has some V in it. It has Victoria or something in it. Yeah. I'm not even gonna think about it. I was gonna think about it, but I can't even think about it. But that's fancy stuff happens, which is like your last 2 years of high school. And if you get that stuff, you can go to university really easily or something. I don't know. If you get a good grade in it, you're like, your school gets a higher rank in the freaking school system, which is something I hate about schools. Yeah, something like that. It's cool. It's not cool actually. And then you can also graduate at grade 10 and like go and get like a apprenticeship in like freaking plumbing or something, but I don't know how that all works. But yeah, you guys can go look it up yourselves if you're really that interested, but that's how it works in Australia. And when I dropped out, I was in grade 11. I was halfway through grade 11. There's 2 semesters. I just finished my first semester. And are you guys ready for my story? Let's go. So, when I was little, I was like, no, but when I was, my first few years of school life, actually like the first 7 or 8 years of my schooling, I was a nerd, I'm not gonna lie. I was always at the top of my class. I was always like, you know, crying if I got a detention, or always like, you know, handing in my work on time. And I'm sure a lot of people were like that, unless you were like just a bad kid all around. But I'm sure a lot of people were like that when they were younger, because they're scared of adults, and then you realize like these people are as dumb as you. That's pretty rude. But from like, I remember like 2nd and 3rd grade, like I was a freaking like nerd. I was always at the top of my class. Not trying to brag or anything, but I was a pretty smart kid. And then like, you know, moving on 7, 8, I moved to England. I was still in the top of my class. Always getting good grades and stuff. Especially in like maths. I was freaking good at maths, and now I suck at it, as you guys can tell. I don't know what happened. I think my brain like broke a little, and then I just forgot how to do maths. But I was really good at that stuff. Like I was always, you know, really high for that stuff. So when they started adding numbers to it, it just freaking broke my brain down. I think my brain had like a seizure. It's just like, can't handle numbers and maths together. must break. But yeah, I was always on top. And then once I moved on to like grade 9 and 10, my school had like this fancy grade 9 stuff where you stop like learning with your hands and wait, no, you stop learning with your brain, you learn with your hand. It was a weird thing, trust me. I went to an all boys private Catholic school. It was a freaking weird school, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't too weird actually, but it was far from normal. And then when I went into grade 10, that's when my education went from like, oh yeah, this is pro. Oh crap, what just happened? So let me talk to you about what happened. So, when I got to grade 10 is when I started learning about a thing known as video game journalism being an actual job. A job where you play video games, you write your thoughts on them, and then you get paid from like ad revenue and stuff off websites. Which to me, sounds like the coolest job ever. I found out a cooler job after that, which is freaking making YouTube videos. Which is, yeah, I don't know, you can't go to school to make YouTube videos, and you can't just, like, someone can't just hire you to make YouTube videos unless they already have a built channel. It's something that's very, like, you know, if I work hard at this, it might happen. If I work hard at this, it's probably not going to happen. And I honestly was really lucky to get, like, you know, a job like this. I never started out for it to be a job. I've been on this website for 6 years nearly. Wait, no. Yeah, 6 years. 2008. July 2008 was when, no, August 2008 was when I started. So yeah, 6 years of hard work, finally got a channel that was, you know, taken off, which is absolutely amazing. So remember guys, it doesn't take one channel to get you started, it may take you like 12 like me. I've done so many things on this website. I've done music, skits, vlogs, I did vlogs, I did like animating, I did other sorts of gaming. I tried everything, and then Minecraft was something that, you know, I must have been made for because it worked out pretty good. But anyway, yeah, that's when I started finding out stuff like that, and that's when I really wanted to learn about, I don't know, I didn't really want to learn about journalism because the stuff teachers would teach me about journalism, I was just like, I don't need to know why freaking this guy in the movie read the novel upside down. I don't know why he did that, dude. I think that has something to do with family morals or something. I'm gonna write that. No, I hated that stuff, dude. That stuff was so like BS. Like, my brain does not think that way when it comes to movies. I think about like, she has no shirt on. That's a gun. That's an explosion. That guy's funny. That guy freaking has a mustache. Like, that's what I think about when I watch movies. I don't think about like freaking family values and stuff. Like, oh, it pissed me off about school. They ruined movies. But yeah. So that's the stuff I was learning, and I don't know, I took sort of my education into my own hands, and I was just like, you know what, school ain't gonna teach me this stuff, I'm just gonna teach it to myself. So, you know, school never taught me, you know, from grade 7 to 8, 9, when I was learning about all this YouTube stuff, school never taught me how to edit videos. Like, I was learning how to edit videos when I was 11, and then I was learning that stuff that I learned when I was 11 in grade 10, which is like, like... Do you know how frustrating it was being in grade 10 and your teacher being like, now guys, you can add another layer in Photoshop, and you can put that layer above this layer, and then you can have 2 images on top of each other, and I'm sitting here like, I've known this stuff for 5 years, help! Like, it was so frustrating, like, I didn't feel challenged at all. And, I don't know, I have this, you guys probably, you know me if you watch my videos, but I have this personality to me that's like, I don't come off as a very smart dude. Like, you talk to me like this, you watch one of my videos like this, you don't expect me to, like, you know, be like, I don't even know. I don't want to say that I'm a smart person, but I know some stuff. Like, if you hand me a computer, I can more than likely use it pretty good than an average person. Or, like, you hand me some editing software, I could probably make you something looking pretty sexy. But, like, my teachers just would never believe me, like, when I used to tell them, like, yo, this stuff I've learned for so long. And at one point, I don't want to sound cocky or anything here, at one point, I was teaching my teacher, like, how to do stuff. Like, I was sitting up there with her on her, like, stupid MacBook computer, because that's what my school thought was cool, and I was teaching her how to, like, do stuff in Photoshop that she should have learned at, like, whatever, teaching school or something. I just got a text message. Okay, shut up, phone. Yeah. That was super frustrating. Okay. But yeah, and then, like, I really hate that feeling of not being challenged, or like just learning stuff that you already know. It's depressing. Like, it's actually depressing. Like, sitting there having someone teach you something that you learned 5 years ago, you feel like a baby. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's what was happening. So as I moved from grade 10 to grade 11. When you go to grade 11, you choose all your classes, which is pretty cool. I chose like drawing. I was forced to choose maths by some stupid, annoying people. I chose media, which is probably the easiest thing that I've ever done. I chose. The teacher of media was always like, "Don't come in here expecting something easy," and like everything she taught me, I already knew, which I don't. That's probably my fault for learning stuff outside of school, but I don't know. You guys probably experienced that too, but I hope I'm not the anyway. And then I chose like IT. What does it stand for? I don't know. Informational technology. I didn't go to school, but yeah. Honestly, all those things that I chose, I maybe should have chosen the year 12 thing. And once you like, they don't let you have like a taste of like year 11, and like they don't let you chase year 12. It's like you pick it now. Like you choose if you want to do this. Like I didn't know what to expect in that because like, you know, my teachers never told me anything because I don't know, maybe they didn't take me seriously. I don't know, but those classes were some of like the most like easiest like walk in the park classes I've ever had. Like drawing, we used to copy stuff from books and draw them. Like I did that when I was like 5, dude. And then like media, again, I was teaching myself stuff. In IT, we had 8 weeks to make a website. I just messed around on Facebook for 7.5 weeks, and then I made a website in like 2 lessons, and then I got like 90%. Like, oh, I wasn't being challenged at all. And then I had these other subjects like sport, religious education. In English, we had to read books, which I never read. And then I had math, which I never did, because I was like, dude, I'm never gonna use this stuff. Like, when am I ever in my future journalism career that was in my brain, that was building in my brain, when am I ever gonna freaking take this thing, factorize it, divide it amongst like 6 kids, and steal all their candy? Like, when am I gonna do that? so ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I was doing. And I told myself in my head, I'm like, dude, just stop it. Just, like, stop doing it. Which is probably me being stupid, probably me being ignorant. But I was like, dude, you gotta just stop doing it. So I just stopped doing schoolwork. I stopped doing, well, I still did schoolwork. I would always hand in things, but it would be, like, the most half-assed thing. Or I would just get the guy next to me to send it over to me, and I would change all the fonts and stuff. Yeah, I was half-assing stuff. I would get set homework, and I would, like, you know, do it seconds before it was supposed to be handed in. Yeah. I was really a bad student at the end of that. And, the worst thing was, probably, like, the last couple months that I was going to school, was, like, you know, I would, you know, like, this was like last year, early last year, so I was doing 1 video a day, sometimes 2 videos a day. Depends if I had, you know, enough motivation to upload 2 videos. Yeah, I was uploading YouTube videos as well, so I would come home, record my videos, upload them, stay up all night, procrastinate about doing the schoolwork, not doing it, thinking about life, watching YouTube videos. And this is when like all the like E3 stuff was happening, so I would stay up and watch all that stuff. Sleep for 10 minutes before school, wake up, have a shower, sometimes fall asleep in the shower, get out of the shower, go to school, sleep in my classes, come back home, rinse and repeat. Like, that's what I was doing. And some days I just wouldn't even go to school. Like, my mom would drive me there, and I'd be like, YOLO, and walk back out, which is something you don't want to do, kids. Like, you get in trouble for that. Yeah. I was a terrible student. And then I like, no matter what, I always ask my parents, like, can I leave school? Can I, like, drop out of school? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they would always ask me, like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do if you drop out of school? Like, and I would never think about it. Like, I would always just be like, I'd make YouTube videos. I'd make more videos. And this was before YouTube, like, I'd ever earned any income off of YouTube. This was probably, like, this is right before my channel, like, you know, sort of had, like, a big spike. Which you can see in, like, my stats. Like, I go from, like, 100,000 views to 1 million views a month. And, like, the most money I'd earned from YouTube was, like, less than $100, which isn't very much, having, like, a part-time job at the time. And they were like, what are you gonna do? Like, work at Kmart full-time? Think about it. If you worked at Kmart for, like, 20 hours a week, you'd be earning, like, less than $10,000 a year. Like, do you think you can live off of that, Mitchell? And I was like, no, I can't. And I don't have anything, like, qualifications to get a real job or anything, so... yeah. I couldn't do anything. So I looked into other things. I watched some YouTube videos around. I looked out, like, online educating. Because I didn't really want to just sit in school all day and do this stuff. I sort of wanted to learn how to, like, you know, write about video games. I sort of wanted to, like, learn how to edit more fancily. I wanted to learn how to, you know, use programs like I have down here, Cinema 4D. Like, I wanted to learn how to do stuff like that. Stuff that my school would never teach me. Like, I asked some, like, people in year 12 who were doing their final stuff, and, like, still the stuff that they were doing was, like, super simple. Like, it was really simple stuff. You just have to, like, do lots of it. Like, lots of simple stuff. Like, I want to be freaking challenged, dude. Like, make me freaking make, like, a 12-minute animation in Cinema 4D using fancy stuff. Teach me that stuff. I want to learn that stuff. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, that never happened. So, I looked into online educating. I didn't really want to do, like, an online school. I still wanted to do, like, online courses. And there's plenty of online courses online if you guys want to look for them. I didn't end up, like... We'll get to that part in a second, but I told my mom about this. I was like, yo, mom, every day, like I told her, I was like, every night I stay up one night. She's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I thought it was a big secret. And then some days, like, I just sleep in school, and she's like, yeah, I know, my teacher's, okay. Mom, I actually really want to drop out of school. Like, this is, like, I didn't think I could do this anymore. Like, this is just wasting my, like, this is wasting my life. And I know that's, like, such a cliche teenage thing to say, like, oh, school's like a waste of my life, like, oh. But that's how I really felt about it. And I said, like, yo, if I drop out of school, like, sign me up for these, like, courses, like, journalism, like, I'll pay for them and everything, like, journalism, like, video editing, like, advanced photo, like, let me sign up for all that stuff, Mom. If you want me to get an education, I'll do it this way. Like, there's other ways to get an education in the world, and I feel like teaching myself, you know, that's how I've done everything. Like, I taught myself how to edit videos and stuff, even though I used, like, other people's videos on YouTube. Like, but I didn't have someone in the room teaching it to me. I just looked on the internet, and, like, she was like, okay, sure. And I got to leave school, which is a pretty crazy feeling. I know, it was actually really cool because, like, on my last day, like, I could just sit there, and my teachers were like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm leaving school at the end of the day. I didn't do anything. Which, like, no one believed me. Like, everyone thought I was lying because that's just me. Like, everyone thought I was joking. And then, like, at the end of the day, well, it wasn't even, it was, like, lunchtime, because my last class was sport, which I didn't want to do. So, at lunchtime, I was just like, yo, does anyone want these books? Like, everyone was like, no. And then I was just like, okay, does anyone want these drawings in my locker? I threw them in the bin, and then I was like, alright guys, I'm going. Like, this is my last day of school ever. And they didn't believe me. They still didn't believe me. And they're like, wait, no, you can't leave school. Like, you're retarded. I'm like, I don't want to learn here no more. And I walked out of school. My teachers were being mean to me. They were making fun of me. Look who I am now. I'm a freaking YouTuber now. Teachers suck my... No, okay. But yeah, I walked out, and I've never gone back since. And I haven't regretted a thing, because if I hadn't dropped out of school, who knows what I would be doing right now, dude. I've seen some of the things people post on Facebook. People are still depressed about that stuff. And I'm sitting here like, I'm learning, I'm doing stuff and things, and I'm working full time. And I'm gonna be moving out in a couple months. Like, what 17-year-old, you know, works full time and moves out in a couple of months? Not very many. But yeah, honestly, that's my story. Hopefully that explains anything. Now, I'm not telling you guys to like, you know, drop out of school. It's not a good thing. I don't want to promote like high school dropping out. But honestly, if you feel like the way you're being educated in school isn't the way you should be educated, and I told my teachers, I was like, yo, dude, why are we reading out of a book? We have, like, that was another thing that really, like, frustrated me. Like, we had laptop computers, and we weren't allowed to Google questions. Like, we had to research a book for it. And, like, the teachers were, like, all old in my school. They're like, oh, that's the way we used to do it. You gotta do it like this. I'm like, but, dude, it's the future. Like, think about it. If you had a problem at work, like, you're a mechanic or something, and, like, your car is just, like, starts, like, peeing itself. Like, the car pisses its pants. You're like, oh, crap, I did not learn this in school. What do? You go to Google. It's a logical thing. Like, come on, man. Like, who freaking, like, reads books anymore? That was really frustrating. That was grinding my gears because I actually got my computer confiscated for cheating by Google searching an answer because I read a book for 15 minutes and I couldn't find it. Yeah, ridiculous. I didn't like my school at all. But yeah, I'm not promoting it. If you guys, I just remember, like, always have something to fall back on. Like, don't just, like, drop out of school and be like, yeah, I'm gonna drop out of school and, you know, go work at McDonald's. Like, that's not something you want to do. Like, make sure you have a place to get an education. Make sure you have something that you can, you know, focus on going. I don't know if I'm gonna go to university yet. I don't have to go to university in order to, you know, get another job. I've been offered jobs as well after being out of school because no one wants to hire a school kid full-time. I've actually been offered jobs, which is pretty cool. I've been offered jobs online, which is pretty cool. Like full-time jobs, which is pretty crazy. But this YouTube thing works out. You know, not everyone gets to do YouTube. It's a really lucky thing. Like I said, been doing this since like 2008. A lot of channels have been doing this, so I'm really lucky to have this as a source of, you know, income, as a fun hobby, as, I know, a job. But yeah, if you guys are looking to drop out, hopefully, like, I explained stuff for you. Definitely search for courses and, like, you know, learning certificates and stuff in your country and whatever you can do. And, you know, if you're cool with your teachers, talk to them about it. Like, be like, yeah, I'm not feeling challenged. Like, I want to get some education somewhere else. Do you know where I can do that? And then your teacher might be able to help you out. But mine did not like me, so be a little bit more not class clowny like me. But anyway, this has gone on for like 20 minutes. Hopefully that explains everything. Yeah, I'm sort of just rambling now. Hey guys, there'll be hopefully another topic thing. I have something in my mind. It's sort of YouTube related and something sort of like that not a lot of people question about on YouTube. And it has something to do with my little verified thing that I just got a few days ago, which is pretty sick. But yeah, leave a like if you found it interesting, if you enjoyed. And yeah, this has been Strawberry Sundays. I'll see you guys next Sunday.